All right. Reveal your truth. When you were born, your soul shone bright. As you grew, you were taught of right and wrong. You were taught of how to think, how to live, how to believe in a way that makes you fearful to say no. To disagree is to risk alienation from family and society, and so you hide your true thoughts and feelings behind a mask. That mask hides your light. Cast it aside. Embrace and live your truth and let your soul shine once more. Okay. So this is all, sorry guys. I hope you, that was my stomach. So my bad. But anyway, whoa. Okay. Well, so this is about uncovering your true self. And uncovering your true self definitely comes with some definite hurdles that you have to jump through, right? Well, I've like I said, traditions, things that were taught when you were, as you grew up, things that you were, accustomed to understanding that if you do X, Y, and Z, then this will become of you. Well, this is about becoming fearless and letting your truth become known, taking your control. Finding your control, finding your willpower, and making it so. Ending this feeling of not being completely you. Maybe starting from scratch and being able to heal, but ultimately to be you and stop with this inability to take control of your own life and do things in the way that you want to do them. Now, going into this relationship, this is the side I typically read for my clients. If you guys want your own soulmate reading, though, you can do so in Instago. But this is how I read for soulmate readings as far as you goes. But you're welcome to go into this side if this resonates with you better than this side, okay? Because this is just a general reading for you guys to see how this reading is going to go for you in a general manner. But, okay, how are you going into this relationship? The relationship between you and the soulmate has a lot to do with not necessarily value, but whether or not this is something you really want to continue to put your hard work and effort towards. Some of you guys, this may be, also trying to figure out what needs to be done to, to further the connection, to further the relationship. I think you guys hit a point in period where you kind of can't do more at this moment. So you're looking at other things that you could do in the meantime to kind of, to keep the momentum going. But I feel like you guys are also looking at what work needs to be done along that process. And it does kind of bring up, a bit of, I don't want to say frustration or sadness, but I kind of get this feeling like it definitely looks like work. It doesn't look like fun. It just looks like it's, what did you commit to? What are you willing to do? What is your focus? And I feel like you guys are trying to figure out, if this is something you really do want to get back into, some of you, because, this is going to require you to really put your whole entire focus into it. And you don't know if you're necessarily ready. You don't know if you want to do that, considering that you've already come so far, but you're still not at the point where you want to be. Now, the other person here has got the King of Cups. This person definitely is very much in love. This person knows what they want, knows what they feel, very aware of it. And I feel like with the King of Cups in the headspace, I always see this person as they know what they want, they know what they feel, and they know how they want to feel. And when I see the Queen of Cups in a lot of the times, I've always felt like this person really loves this individual. This person knows who they love. They see this other person. They think about this other person and being romantic and dreamy. And I do. I feel like this person is very much in love with this person, which is why they're presenting themselves as the king of presenting themselves as the Page of Pentacles. They're offering perhaps some sort of commitment, some sort of love, or not love, but some sort of, if not a gift, then it's definitely some sort of offer of commitment and stability here. I don't think this person is I don't know if this person is taking their slow time, or being very slow. It could be that this person is taking their time with looking at something in closer detail, right? And then maybe they're just kind of taking a cautious step and really looking at something very carefully, getting detail-oriented, glances at a situation. They're definitely seeing that they're taking the relationship in a very serious approach, right? They're very meticulous about how they move forward. And usually the Page of Pentacles is not necessarily the meticulous one, but this is very detailed oriented kind of energy that I'm getting with the Page of Pentacles. But the other side has got the Moon. This person is definitely facing fears. This person seems confused, and this person seems to have like an understanding, at least with where the direction they're going. But the moon here, this person is either like extremely intense, extremely confused of themselves, but they're also because they're going through fears of their own. And the reason why they are experiencing this and they're showing this and displaying this as their body has to do with the Two of Pentacles. I think they're kind of torn between two truths at this moment. And I was reading this for, I believe it was for Aries. Or no, it was for Taurus. They were like the energy here was like they were torn between two truths. Like they believed one truth, but then they believed another. But they can't have both. They have to pick one. And I feel like this person does feel like an overwhelming sensation of something. You know, because the moon can be seriously intense, and it can, in a way, be overwhelming in my eyes. But I feel like the Two of Swords is like something that they're not seeing to help them make the decision that they need to make. You know, so then, you know, and then they're not looking at how they feel about something. They're looking at all the work that they've put in. They're working out what work they need to continue to put in. And that can cause a lot of confusion because what they want, what their heart wants may be different from what their mind is trying to tell them they should want. And this person on the other side, though, the reason why they are showing the Page of Pentacles and the King of Cups here is because they're manifesting. This person is channeling their energy. I feel like they're channeling their energy to create something. Now, this is where it gets interesting because you have the Nine of Swords and the Fool. Now, we do have stress and anxiety here and maybe doubts. And this person here is so far showing maybe the slightest bit of doubt if we count the Page of Pentacles. But even that is like, it's still even a step in a small direction. It's a new small beginning towards a small direction. So it's a small step in a different direction, a new beginning, a new step, a new start, a small start. Nothing big, but it can be big later. And the Magician shows potential in my eyes. Like the Magician is channeling energies and knowing the power rests within you to make something happen, to make to create something, to manifest something into your life. It takes you to do it. And I feel like this person understands that, which is why they're not moving so fast. They're taking a little bit of a closer look. They know what they want to feel, and they're trying to make sure this is actually that direction. Because they know once they start going down that road, they can only, it only goes further from there. But the challenge is the Ten of Swords. I'm going to clarify that. Why is the challenge that you and your soulmate face, why is that the Ten of Swords? What is the Ten of Swords trying to tell us? The reason why it's the Ten of Swords is because of because of the Devil, and it's telling us of old attachments. The end of old attachments, or not old attachments, but attachments or addictions or patterns of behavior. Getting control over patterns of behavior. Or the end of it could be the ending of some sort of bound connection. Or the recovery of a connection that was bound, or a recovery of a connection between you and this individual. Rather, we brought you two together with speed, passion, or not passion, but balance between your head and your heart. Willpower. Taking control of your life, taking control of yourselves. That's what brought you two together. It was interesting, like something drove you both together. That independence, that goal-oriented sort of feeling for you guys, like that's what brought you two together. But now the ending of what what you're giving your power away to, true understanding of your true power. Because I think for a lot of you guys were just pushing and pushing and pushing, right? Doing the best you can, keeping the balance. But tapping into your real potential here through the Devil, through seeing your true essence and being aware of what you're giving your power away to, and completely cutting that out too. From completely freeing yourself. That's what it looks like. That's why the probably the fool is here too, because it's anxious. It does bring up a lot of anxieties when you're going down a new path, and you truly have to 100% rely on you. And there's nothing around you that would like help you or do anything like that, because this is truly 100% you at this point. You're separating yourself from all the attachments, all the old ways of thinking, all these behaviors and patterns that that we've learned along the way that may have helped us at one point, but don't help us now. They just take us, it keep us from what we wanted to do. It keeps us from growing. It keeps us from healing from the Ten of Swords. And I feel like that's why the moon is coming up for you, Cancer, right here in this point, which is interesting too, because it's not a bad card. This is also your card here. Even though I know the moon, is I know, actually no, this the moon is Cancer, but the card is actually Pisces. But okay, I feel like this is allowing you guys to completely embrace what you feel, embrace the old stuff, embrace those old fears, so you can finally tackle them and conquer them once and for all, and no longer have those fears rule you. So you can truly go about your life and create something. But you first have to face the music. You first have to face the music, and I feel like it's not just you, it's you, it's him, it's this person too. And now, even though the kings come up, it doesn't mean this person is a man. It could be a female too. Okay? But I feel like this is the complete break, this is like a break free. This is like a set free from all things. Getting your control back in, your power back, sure. You're getting control. Maybe control issues is what brought you guys together, or maybe something that you're trying to control or take control of. But now you're like releasing that need, or that the thing that's keeping control over you. That's what brought you together, to truly find the power and the freedom within self, and not needing anything around you. Let's go and see what the Whispers of Love is saying here. Alright, you guys got two. Alright, it says focus on love and speak the language of love. Nice. So, speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. And we talk about changes, right? We're talking about a new beginning. Yeah, man. And I think that's the thing. Maybe there needs to be clarity in the situation, that clarity. But it starts by figuring out why, what's causing this confusion, right? What are your fears going through this time of unknown and anxiety, trusting your intuition 100%? You're kind of, you feel a little lost sometimes too. And it's because it may be that because you're sitting on the fence still. You haven't solely found the truth that you're going to wield, that sword that you're going to be wielding, that truth that you're going to have that will cut right through the confusion. Cut right through this, I don't know if I want to do this situation. The doubts that's building up here. Because we got doubts here. And it starts by facing the music, facing what's going on, being true to yourself, and just being okay. If this is a connection, if this is a toxic relationship that you want to break free from, that's okay. If it's a connection you want to be attached to, but it's taboo because people don't accept it, that's okay too. But you have to face your truth, and you have to accept your truth, and accept that people may not agree with it, and that's not gonna, and it doesn't matter what people think, because you're not gonna let anyone's outside influence, make you be someone that you're not. Because you have focus on love, that indicates look for good attributes in each and every person in your life. Now, it could be that you're looking at old things that happened in your past, like the reason why you haven't 100% committed to this relationship yet, or maybe that, you're having doubts about this relationship is because, maybe there's some things that this person here has done. Or maybe there's some patterns and stuff, or there's some behaviors that this relationship that needs to completely get cut down. Like, it needs to stop. And I feel like this person maybe is trying, but you're not sure because you're still dealing with the fact that whatever happened with this relationship, whatever caused it to be toxic, is over. And I think that's the thing, right? Some of you guys may be having to just, it's hard to see that there's changes coming about with this person, because this person's trying, this person's in love, this person's you doing everything they can, wielding their willpower and using their self control and their awareness of their strengths and their power to do what they need to do to change behaviors that that will not continue. And it's hard to see that, especially if you're the victim of that, if you're the one that's subjected to that. And it could be the vice versa, right? It could still be that it could be the other way around. It could be that you are having to change your behaviors so to make sure that they don't continue. But you also build boundaries to protect yourself moving forward. Both parties. I feel like there's something toxic here that was here before that's ending now, but it's hard to realize that this situation may have injured your trust in some way. But I don't think it's impossible to continue to move forward. I don't think it's wrong to continue to move forward, especially if you see there's changes with this person. Don't let the doubts of there being change keep you from having something that you want. Because there's good attributes. And if those good attributes are what's really the strongest thing, and you know that those things are there, it will help you make the decision whether or not this is something you can continue to work hard towards or not.